All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and the glory and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachai Kodash. And I also want to give the honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and that teach well through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Wa Shalom, wa Barakim to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, which are scattered abroad and at every place, redeeming the time and ready to be saved. Shalom. Alright, the title of this lesson will be everything is about to change. Alright? Everything is about to change. And it's gonna happen fast too. Alright? You know? And what I mean is, you know, your daily routines that you attend to, alright, your lives that you're living now, what is gonna come to a conclusion, alright? And a lot of people gonna know what it's like to be homeless, all right? And what I mean is, you know, these high class or middle class, you know, residents, all right, they gonna know what it's like to be homeless, okay? And that's why you see a lot of these Edomites now complaining more than Jake. And we're only in the beginning of sorrows, all right? This is only the beginning of Jacob's trouble. You got Edomites, these so-called white people, losing their minds, man. All right? Matter of fact, let me get that in Isaiah, the 24th chapter. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse Isaiah 24, verse 4. It says, "And the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away." And it says, the haughty people of the earth do languish. That's right. That's what we witnessing now. You know, these Edomites, man, they going through it. The curses are being gradually brought upon them. All right? And like I said, this is only the beginning stages. Because look, check this out. Yeah, it's Jacob's trouble, but it's also Esau's trouble. All right? Because if you're not filthy rich, you know, you're not one of those a part of the royal family, the you know, the high banking families, you have no chance, man. Because they are the only ones that's going to pretty much escape, you know, poverty, these things that are coming upon the earth. And it's only one reason for that. Yahweh Shai is saving them just so they can be the first what's what I'm looking for? So they can be the first it's a term that I'm looking for, but basically they can be the first ones to go into slavery. All right, so I'm read that again. Isaiah 24 and 4 says, "The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. That's right. You see? So, like I said, you have, everything's finna change, man. All right? You see these people living the way they are. You able to go to the store and get your comfort foods, go to the barber shop, get a haircut whenever you want to, go to these different, resorts, okay? But you see, all that's finna change, all right? Matter of fact, it's heavy because I'm already in the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, all right? Because when you read on, because this is what this is going into, all right? The things are changing, all right? And this is not and it's for the good of the elect. All right, what does it say in Romans, the 8th chapter? All things working for the good to them that love Yahweh Shema Shai. So for the elect, this is good. If you're not of the elect, this is not good for you. All right? Because what does it say in the scripture? That my servant shall eat, and ye shall starve. All right? My servant shall drink, and ye shall thirst. So the elect, no matter what they go through in Jacob's trouble, they're going to be brought out of that. And given abundance of blessings, man. All right? But it's going to be a detrimental to the mind, via witnessing how things are just going to change. How everything's going to go downhill. Everything that we see, everything is finna just go to waste, man. All right? And they show you that in that movie, in variety of movies. You got I Am Legend. Eli, the Book of Eli. All right? Everything is this place is finna turn to a wasteland. All right? It's gonna be just like a country, just trash, just a waste country, and that's trash. That's what waste is, trash. And what you do with trash, you burn it, you take it out, you dump it. So that's what Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna do. All right, to this place, all right, and that's heavy. All right, he gonna burn this place up. All right, and I want to read on a little bit. All right, what was I at? Let's jump to verse 5. It says, "The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant." And that's talking about Esau, man. All right, so the earth is suffering because of that. All right, so therefore hath the curse devoured the earth. That's right. And what's a great example of that? You got these tsunamis, these earthquakes, It said, "And they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left." That's right. It says, "The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth. All the merry-hearted do sigh." And it's a good. Why? Why is that? Why? All right, we're gonna read further on and figure out and find out. It said, "The mirth of Tabard ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth." Yeah, and no more partying. All right, no more partying. Okay. All right, no more partying, no more, going to the clubs, no more marriage ceremonies. All right, all this gonna come to an end. All right. It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. That's right. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. That's right. The city of confusion is broken down. And that's what Isaiah was seeing. He saw Isaiah. Isaiah saw America at its lowest. All right, broken down. And I just gave you examples. You know, the movies, I Am Legend, Book of Eli. You see how the cities, look, they looked, it was just destroyed, man. There's no building going on, no work. No businesses, establishments being operating. All right. It said the city of confusion is broken down. That's right. Matter of fact, let me get Ecclesiastes. There's going to be no businesses, going on. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Yeah, Esau, man. When all these things come to a head, all right, when these prophecies come to a head, what you think they gonna do? They gonna greatly fear, man, because this is their kingdom we're talking about here. This is their empire we're talking about. This is their empire at stake, man. All right. He said, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease. That's right. And the grinders shall cease, and the grinders cease, because they are few. Right. You ain't gonna have no work out here. All right. Ain't gonna be no corporate work. All right. Really, it said, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right, verse 4, it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. You see that? And the doors shall be shut in the streets. That's these businesses being shut down. These jobs being shut down. Okay? It said, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice, and the bird rise up at the voice of the bird, right? And all the daughters of music shall be brought low. That's right. You see? So let's get Isaiah 19. Verse 15, it said, neither shall there be any work for Egypt. All right? Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Right? And this is a future prophecy. And Egypt is spiritually, Egypt is talking about America. America is spiritually known as Egypt in the scriptures. Read about that in Revelation, the 11th chapter. Which is spiritually called Egypt. All right. There will be no work here. You see? Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right. So going back to Isaiah 24 and 10, it said the city of confusion. That's that, America. Confusion means Babylon. That's why America is known in the scripture as Babylon, because it's a place of confusion. All right. So once again, it says the city of confusion is broken down. Whoo! That's what we finna get ready to witness, man. At its fullest. All right. It says, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Right, because they gonna go. Hey, it's finna. Look, you ain't gonna be able to travel anymore to the next state. Oh, that's these lockdowns. You see that they did it before, but that was just a try run, a trial run. Salaki. All right, but the real deal is finna come upon us, man. All right, you ain't gonna be able to travel. You ain't gonna be able to go where you want to go. All right, that's these cities. What we read here, it says, "In every house is shut up, that no man may come in." All right. You see, we giving you the real reality. All right. It says, "There is a crying for wine in the streets." That's right, because the men of the Lord are no longer going to be on the streets anymore at that time. All right? When all hell break loose and things change completely, you ain't going to see the men of the Lord out there on the streets, man. All right? You ain't going to see us out there holding up signs, with our garments on, and all hell is breaking loose. You got stores going to be getting ransacked, and vandalized. All right, you're not gonna have the men of the Lord in the streets, on the streets, in the midst of all that shit. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Let's get what's that? Micah. What is it? I think it's Amos. Yes, book of Amos. Verse 13, it says, "Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time." You see that? We ain't gonna be out in the streets teaching at that time, man. All right? We saying what we got to say now through the Spirit. Or really, how about Shemal Shai saying what he got to say through us right now. All right? And then the prophets is gonna be drawn back. All right, and we seeing that the stage is being set for that to transpire. All right, so things is working, man. Things is happening. All right. He said, "Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time." That's right. You see, you ain't gonna have the man of the Lord out there in the midst of all that crap. Right? Because the Yahweh Shemal Shai wants his men of the elect to be safe. All right? To be safe. Because that's what he promised. All right? He said, therefore, wait a minute, back in Isaiah 24:11, it said, "There is a crying for wine in the streets." That's right. People gonna be looking for the prophets, man. They're gonna be looking for answers. And you ain't gonna find it in these Christian churches. You ain't gonna find it going to TD Jakes, the HWO. All right, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyone. The only answers you're gonna find, the only answers you're looking for, is gonna be found by the men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh Shemal Shai, man. All right. So there is a crying for wine in the streets. And wine represents the truth. It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. All right? And I'm going to say this, just for you could put this as a side note. All right? That wine is, the truth is known as wine in the scriptures because it's a healing, product. Well, when you go into the in the days of old, wine was used for what? It wasn't just used, to make a man merry, happy, merry-hearted, but it was also used by physicians. All right, it was used for medicine, a herb. All right, to heal. Okay, to make happy people, make a man happy. So, is that not what this truth does for us, man? All right. Is that not what this truth does for us? So that's why the truth This wisdom and knowledge that we have is likened unto wine in the scriptures. So just, a little side note for those of you that didn't know. Okay. It says, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. That's right. And we seeing that at a small scale right now. But we're seeing the progress. And it's going to eventually reach its climax. Right? The mirth of the land is gone. Right? You're not going to be able to go to these basketball games, football games, going out to these bars, going out to eat. Alright? It said, all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. Yeah, gonna be gone completely. Alright? All these different establishments, I just went into it. All these different establishments gonna be shut completely down, man. Whoo, these people ain't ready for that. You see? So if you got this knowledge and the Yahweh Shemel Shai has drawn you to this, man, that's why we give thanks, man, any chance you get. Because this is a privilege. Because look, he's prepping you, conditioning you for that time, man. So when it come, you gonna see it. It may fuck you up a little bit. I speak I believe that even the elect, when the elect see it, it's gonna fuck them up a little bit. Like, damn, this shit really happening. But it's not gonna, cause them to lose their shit. All right, they gonna be still, stable. Have their sanity. All right, still be able to, be like, okay, I knew this was gonna happen. But damn, versus, people in the world, carnal people, they not ready for this, man. They gonna lose their shit. Especially those that have families and kids, and hey, the scriptures talk about how, these grown ass men out here finna be screaming like women. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. That's one of my favorites. Jeremiah 30. This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 5. It says, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Verse 6, it says, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. You see? Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail. As a woman in travail. What do a woman do when she's in travail? She's screaming. When she's giving birth, she's screaming, man. All right? Y'all know how women, when they giving, she's screaming. For what? For pain, because of pain. All right? So you're going to have these grown men out here screaming like women, man. Like the scriptures say, they're going to be as a woman in travail. All right? It says, wherefore do I see every man with his, it said, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Whoo, you see that? Look, this is the nastiness of the scriptures, man. It said, as a woman in travail. He talking about men, grown ass men. All right, like, man, that's not a pleasant sight to you. That's not a pleasant experience, man. Who want to see a grown ass man screaming like that? Shit uncomfortable as fuck, man, to be around. But that's what we finna get ready to witness, all right? Because all things is finna change and get really bad out here. All right, so once again, back to Isaiah 24:11, said, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, The mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation. You see? In the city is left desolation. That's right. And once again, I gave y'all examples. I Am Legend. The Book of Eli. All right. What's that? Left Behind. Leave the World Behind. All right. And you have movies like The Purge too. The Purge movies. All right. And a diabolical, nefarious activities that's gonna be happening. All right. Like the movie Purge. All right. It said, in the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. All right. So I'm gonna go to Isaiah the 13th chapter. In verse 14, it says, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. That's heavy. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. You see that? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. See, these people don't know the essence of this scripture right here, man. Who are they gonna be thrust by? Or be slain by? Esau. All right? You're gonna have martial law. All right, and Esau gonna send his troops, and they just gonna be unaliving people, man. Hey, man, they show you that in these damn movies, man. All right, because you're gonna be given a curfew. You're gonna have to be in your house at a certain time. You step outside your house, you're gonna be knocked off, man. It's finna get real out here. Okay? And you've been warned. All right? It said, everyone that is found everyone that is found shall be thrust through. That's right. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. You ain't where you supposed to be. Like I just said, you out and about when you're not supposed to be, you're gonna be killed. All right? Because there's gonna be orders given. And if you don't follow them, you're gonna be exterminated. All right, it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. That's right. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. That's right. Esau, look, they're gonna destroy your kids. A lot of kids is gonna be destroyed. All right, for a variety of reasons. We don't know. And it could be, because that chip is gonna be, forced upon a lot of people. All right, and you may not, consent, right, to that, and they might kill your kids. All right, before your eyes. Reading it right here, man. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. A lot of people finna lose their little ones, man. All right, this is what we here to tell you people, man. Y'all finna lose y'all kids. All right? And this is the same fucking people that y'all worship. These 2/3 that they worship. The so-called white man. Y'all finna see that they not for you. All right? That this government is not for you. The government don't give a fuck about you, man. All right? Because what we read right now, where do you think it's going to come from? It's going to be issued through the mouth of the government. All right? Because this is, look, there's going to have to be laws that are set for this to be executed. All right? It said their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Right? You're going to have Esau breaking into your houses and graping your women. So if you got a, fair looking woman, a beautiful woman, be prepared for that. All right? Now I'm speaking about those that are not of the elect, man. All right? But even if you are of the elect, who knows what type of trials we're going to be put through. If you're going to be put through if you're of the elect. Who knows? All right? How about Shema Shai? Because it's going to be a test for all of us, man. Whether you are the elect or not. But the difference is, if you are the elect, you're going to be brought out of it. All right? That's the difference. It says, behold, he said, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Whew! Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. So this is what we're here to tell you, that, okay, we understand what the scripture is saying. All right? You go into the movie The Purge. It shows you that. All right? Great example. All right? You got the movie Mad Max. All right? You're going to have a lot of lunatics out here, man. A lot of psychos. Yahushua, he spoke about that in Revelation of Matthew the 24th chapter. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right? Those that you used to know, that you was real tight with, hey, ain't going to be none of that. It's going to be every man for himself. All right? They show you that in that movie, Leave the World Behind. Those that you was real close to. All right? They won't hesitate. They're not going to hesitate to unalive you. All right? Matter of fact, let's get that 2nd Ezra 16. Wait a minute. It might be 15. Okay, yeah, verse 15. Then we go to 16. This is 2nd Ezra 15, verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. You see that? You might be knowing these people for years. Right? That's not going to matter. It says, a man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Yep. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? Let's go to verse 16. Chapter 16. Verse 22. It says, we started at 21. It said, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. Right. And that's what look, the victuals, these food products, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Yeah, people not expecting a hyperinflation. All right? They're not expecting for a loaf of bread, one loaf of bread to become the price of a loaf of bread, one loaf of bread to be $50. All right? Think about that, man. All right. It says that behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth. Right. Meaning, hey, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. All right. It says, yeah, the evil shall grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And great confusion. Great confusion is another way of saying people losing their minds. Like literally losing their minds. All right. It says, verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. That's right. And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right. You get robbed for whatever possession you have. All right. Get stabbed, shot for your food. All right. He says, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. And there shall be no man to comfort them. Yeah, I mean to bury them. For the earth shall be waste. You see? For the earth shall be waste. And the cities shall be cast down. That's talking about here in America. All right? The earth shall be waste and the city shall be cast down. It's going to become a wasteland. All right? A third world country. You see? It says, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Yep. The tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather it? That's right. Because people going to be scared to go be out. Because we just read in Isaiah the 13th chapter that everyone that is found shall be thrust through. People ain't trying to be out. Ain't going to be out at that time. All right? That's why I said everything is finna change. Everything is about to change, man. All right? It says, the grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. Verse 27, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. Right? And they show you that on I Am Legend when Will Smith, all right, he desired to hear another one's voice. He was talking to a mannequin. All right? And he got emotional because he was like, man, please talk to me. All right? Y'all know that movie. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right? See what I'm saying? So, it says, once again, it says, so that one man shall, that's heavy. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. It says, verse 28, for of a city there shall be 10 left. Right? For of a city there shall be 10 left, which indicates that there's going to be mass slaughter. There's going to be a lot of deaths. All right? They tell you that in the scripture that they that dwell upon the earth in the last days shall be taken in great number. All right? It said, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves. Damn. And in the cliffs of the rocks. Right? It's talking about these buildings, these big buildings, these skyscrapers. All right, that's the modern, mountains. All right, people gonna be, housing themselves in these buildings, which were once known as great establishments. All right, you're gonna have these major hotels. All right, being housed by, they're gonna be hiding in them. All right. It says, as in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Let me jump to verse 32. It says, "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old." Again, talking about America, Babylon the Great. It says, "In her ways," you see, her ways, that's the great whore, Babylon. All right? America, it says, "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old. In her ways, and all her paths shall grow full of thorns." Yeah, that's your highways, your streets. Okay? It says, "Because no man shall travel there through." That's right. Like you see now, you see the rail, the highways, the streets, full of cars traveling, right, back and forth, right. But it's gonna come to a day where none of that will be. Ain't gonna be no cars traveling on the streets. Like I said, you see that on these movies, man. All right. It says, once again, it said, "And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old. In all her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough." All right, it says, "The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers." That's right. It says, "In the wars," all right, "there shall," and it's going to tell you why. It says, "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine." All right, so then Isaiah 4:1, that's Isaiah 4:1, all right? 7 women shall take a hold of one man, because all that man is going to die and perish. All right, if they have any. It says, "Hear now these things, and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it." That's right. "Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bring forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn." Yeah, you people. All right? So, "And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side." Whoo-wee, man. Damn. He says, "Oh, my people, which are Israelites, hear my word." All right? Which his word is going out now via the prophets. All right? Because we warning you about all these things. Presently warning you about all these things. All right? He says, "Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle." Yeah, get ready for this battle, man. All right. It says, in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away." That's right. So all these people that own these businesses, when all holy hell breaks loose, they just gonna pack. They just gonna leave that business. They gonna just run and lead their businesses, man. All right. He said, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth, that's one that will lose. Right. So you got people with these mansions, these Mercedes Benzes, these BMWs, these nice cars, this nice that. Well, they gonna lose that, man. It's gonna be taken from them. All right. That's why we don't give a damn about about that shit, because all that's gonna be is gonna depart. All right, it's either gonna be took in or, So that's why we don't give a damn about having the baddest car. We don't care about that shit, man, because we know the prophecies. We know what's finna happen. All right, we're reading it right here. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. You see? So you eventually gonna lose that shit. That's why Yahushua, what did he say? He said, he that loveth his life shall lose it. All right? So you loving all that, you gonna lose it, man. Believe that. All right? So yeah, I think I've been, pretty much going long enough. All right? And I just wanted to get that out there, because we're in these times, right? We must be focused on this. All right? So yeah, Lord, when us edifying till next time. Shalom.